Hi, so welcome to this video. So in this video, we'll be talking about string concatenation and how you can concatenate two strings, the different methods you can use for it, and how you can, and a couple of examples, okay, for each of those methods. So this is what we have so far. We have an index.html file and a script.js file, and we have a boilerplate HTML template in here, the head tag, meta tags, title, and everything, and we have a paragraph tag in here. Also, I've linked the script.js file to my HTML file through the script tag. So that's it. So now let's start off with our concatenation. So concatenation is basically joining two strings. So two different strings, joining them and merging them into one string. So that's concatenation. And in JavaScript, you can do that in a multitude of ways. And one of them is by using the string concatenation operator, that is the plus operator. Now this plus operator, if used with numbers, for example, if I say var a is equal to 1 plus 2, now that would be, let me increase the size. Okay, now that would just add these two numbers and give 3 as a's answer, am I right? But if you use that with, let's say, strings, it'll just concatenate them. So let's see how that works. So the first, let's create a variable a that has the string hello inside it, and let's create a variable b that has world inside it. Okay, now I'm going to use the concatenation operator to concatenate both the strings. Now if there were numbers in here, it would just add and give the result. But since there are strings in here, let's see what happens. So let me use the document.write function to do that. There you go. Now I just went to File and Live Preview, and I have my Live Preview in here. So there you go. Do you see that? Hello and then world. Okay, so those two strings were concatenated. That is, they were placed side by side, one after the other. If it was b plus a instead of a plus b, what would happen is, there you go, world and then hello. Alright, now as you can see here, there is no space between those two words, and usually words have spaces, right? So, in order to change that, we can create another string that has space. So let's create another string called D, or maybe D, and the only thing it's going to have inside is just one space inside it, okay? So there you go. Now, let's do this. A plus D plus B. Okay, so first hello, and then this space, and then world. Okay, now what happens? There you go. There's the first, the string in A, that is hello, and then there is the space in here, and then there is world. Am I right? Perfect. So that's how this works. So, and I just want to tell you one more thing. Instead of doing it like this, you can actually just remove all of this and just do it all in here as well. For example, let's just create the strings right inside it. Hello, that's the first string. Now the next string is going to be a space, and the next string is going to be world. That's it. So you can do that as well, and if you look at the output, it's still the same. Okay, so you can either create a separate strings and then join them together with their variables, or you can just create them as such and just join them inside one single variable as well. Okay, and let's see what happens when you add a number with a string. So usually when you add a number and another number, what happens? You just get that number, right? But what happens if I add that number with a string? Look at that, it just concatenated it. So what happens here is, whenever there's a string with the concatenation operator or the plus operator, our browser would take everything else as a string as well. So far, once it encounters a 1, it'll say, okay, fine, there's a number, let's see what we have to do with it. And then it'll come to the plus. So it'll say, okay, I'm going to have to add this number to something else. But as soon as the string comes in here, it'll just completely disregard all of the numbers and it'll say, okay, fine, everything is a string, so I'll have to add whatever was before, that is 1 in here, and concatenate it with this particular string. So that's why you get 1 and then world. But on the other hand, if you have, like, let's say 2 numbers added together first and then concatenated with a string, what happens then? There you go. 3 and then world. So now what happens is it'll say 1, okay, it's a number, let me add it to something else. Okay, find another number, so I'll add both, and then I'll have a 3, and then when it finds the next plus, it'll say, okay, fine, I'll have to add 3 to something else, but it finds the string. So it'll say, okay, fine, 3 and then a string, let's concatenate it, so it gets 3, so it forms 3 and then world. Okay, so that's how that works. So when you concatenate a string with a number, you'll get a string, that is a concatenated string. So instead of just the plus operator, you could also use the plus equal to operator, and just like with the plus operator, when used with a string, it just produces a concatenated string. Okay, it doesn't actually do any calculation. So let me show you how that works. So let's create a variable a. Okay, in here a is equal to hello. Okay, and then I'm gonna, sorry about that, and then var, so not like that. Okay, a plus equal to, let's give a space in here, and then world. So what plus equal to basically does is a plus equal to 1. Let's say what that means is a is equal to a plus 1. Okay, so that's what's happening here. So a is equal to a plus, that is a concatenates world. That's what it does. So a, which is equal to a plus world. Okay, so now that is basically saying, what is a in here? The a in here is actually hello, right? So it's just saying a is equal to hello plus world. So that's just a shortcut form of writing the same thing. So let's see what we get. Let's save this and refresh. Okay, let's output a in here. Okay, a. Let's save it again and then refresh. So there you go, hello and then world. So that's how it works. So that's it for the plus equal to operator as well. So this is basically for the concatenation operator. But there's also a pre-made operator, that is a pre-made function in JavaScript to do the same concatenation, but it's usually better to use the plus or the plus equal to operators because it's just faster, it executes faster. But it's a good idea to know about the concatenation function as well. So let's look at that. So let's first create 2 strings, hello, and then var b is equal to world. Okay. So var c is equal to, so what we're doing here is the concatenation operator works like this. So the first string, so it's like string 1 dot concat, which is the function, in the bracket what you need it concatenated with. So you have to say string 1 has to be concatenated with string 2. Okay, so that's how you have to write it. Okay, so now let's replace this with the actual strings that we created. So string 1 is a, so I'm concatenating a with b. Now let's display it and see if it works. There you go, hello world. Now there's no space in here as such because I didn't leave a space in this particular string. So but there's a thing with the concatenation operator. You can concatenate it with any number of strings you want. So a, I need it concatenated with first a space and then with the string b. So if I do it like this, what happens is it'll concatenate hello with this empty string first, okay, with the space first, and then with world. So let's see if that works. there you go, hello, and then a space, and then world. Okay? Alright? So you can do it like that, or instead of doing this, you can just, instead of adding a variable, you can just do it like this. Let's see. So that works too. So that means I'm concatenating hello with this particular string, which is basically space, people, and then. Okay, there you go. So these are the different ways in which you can concatenate different strings. So that's it for this particular video. Please subscribe if you want to. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. So I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Thank you.